Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and I wanted to go into Astana, Kazakhstan today, the capital of Kazakhstan. It's also known as the Freemason capital of the world and goes by other names. But I'm sure you've been hearing about Kazakhstan in the news recently with all the protests going on there, and they're actually getting pretty violent. I heard they decapitated 2 officers' heads, and there's a lot of blood being spilled over there right now. But this is a place where a lot of uranium is produced. They're one of the largest producers of uranium in the world, and it appears that Babylon and the Beast are waging proxy wars through Kazakhstan against Russia. But that's yet to be seen. Don't want to jump too far with that. But this is also the place where in the movies Borat is from, and they make it seem like it's stuck in time and it's regressive, but when you look at the capital, it's actually pretty advanced and laden in occult symbols. So we'll start out this article. It's an old article. It's from September of 2013. It says, the city is filled with symbolism of various sorts, and the post undeniable truth, secrets in plain sight, great for beginners. We saw many examples of hidden meaning encoded into buildings, cities, and locations on the globe. I will warn you, the writer does seem to... let's just skip down. So, here's the Pyramid of Peace. It's conceived by Britain's most prolific architect, Lord Norman Forster. This giant pyramid is an odd presence in the middle of the Asian steppes. The building is dedicated to the renunciation of violence, which is funny coming from Esau. He's a man of violence. And to bring together the world's religions. Norman Foster has said that the building has no recognizable religious symbols to permit the harmonious reunification of confessions. In reality, the pyramid is a temple for the occultists only. True religion, which is sun worship. A journey inside the building is a truly symbolic one. It represents each human's path to illumination. It says, let's take the tour. The initiates, the pyramidal shape. The initiates accepted the pyramid form as the ideal symbol of both the secret doctrine and those institutions established for its dissemination, says Manly P. Hall, which he was a Freemason and supposedly the founder of the KKK. His statue got torn down last year or something. And it says, as Manly P. Hall stated, the pyramid is the ultimate symbol representing the mysteries of ancient civilizations. Sublime in their simplicity, divine in their proportions, they embody both the divine knowledge owned by the illuminated and the bewilderment of the masses. Today's elite, initiated to the occult, are the heirs of this ancient wisdom and use the pyramid as a symbol of power in the modern world. The illuminated, floating, missing capstone represents the divine principle present in the universe as well as in each human being. Another symbolic meaning attributed to the missing capstone is the unfinished nature of the New World Order. It is said the capstone of the Great Pyramid will be reinstated when this age-old project will become reality. And that's not going to happen because the Lord is going to tear this down right when you're about to fill your belly. Here are other pyramids appearing across the world representing the elite's power over the masses. This is Raffles Hotel in Dubai. This is the Memphis Arena. And this is the Luxor Hotel in Las Vegas. So in the bottom of that pyramid, there's this opera house. And it has a giant sun at the top of it. It says, despite the darkness, a huge image of the sun occupies almost all of the ceiling. And then this is above that sun that you saw on the ceiling. This is the midsection around the sun table. It says right on top of the opera house is the central space of the pyramid. It acts as the meeting room for conferences reuniting religious leaders of the world. Take a minute and soak up the symbolism here. You have religious leaders from around the world sitting around a huge figure of the sun discussing how to reconcile their differences for the coming new age. The symbolism is blatant. All these theologies are simply outgrowth of the original object of worship, the sun. This is the top of the pyramid. And it says, this space is much more luminous than the opera house, representing the progress towards illumination. The sun image in the middle of the round table is exactly on top of the sun of the opera house. So while the general population is being entertained in the darkness of the material world, the illuminated sitting right on top of them are contemplating how to reach godliness. If you read other articles on this site, you might be aware of the objectives of the New World Order. One of them is the replacement of all religions by a form of neo-paganism. This is what those meetings are for. The city of Astana is truly a city of the New World Order, the apex, which means the top. The apex is literally heavenly. It is round, totally windowed and bathing in glorious sunlight. Images of white doves are embedded in the windows, representing peace, which will result in the unification of the world governments and religions in the New World Order. The apex is the ultimate representation of the achievement of illumination on an individual and on the worldly level. Look at the ceiling of the apex. Let's keep moving down. It's just a bunch of Esau's gargle. This shows a drawing of that pyramid. This is the Beta-Rec. This is also designed by the distinguished British architect, Sir Norman Foster. The monument is meant to embody a folktale about a mythical tree of life and a magic bird of happiness. The bird named Samruk had laid its egg in the crevice between two branches of a poplar tree. The golden globe at the top of the monument, represents once again the sun, the supreme deity. This tree of life represents the channel through which spirits go to leave the material world and join the divine world. This concept is a recurrent in most, if not all, esoteric societies. Inside the golden globe, which is the total recall thing, because that hand, a vision similar to that was in Total Recall. Oh, it shows it down here. Visitors can go to the top of the tower and get a wonderful view of the city. There are also some strange items to look at. Inside the globe, we find this enigmatic thing. It's a golden triangle with President Nazarbayev, and he's the former president as of now, but it has his handprint in it, and we don't know why. And there's the image from Total Recall. And then it is a globe signed by representatives from 17 religious denominations. Once again, talking about uniting all religions into one for the NWO and all that. And there it is right there. A closer image of it. And then moving down, these Masonic pillars. This is 2 pillars and 1 in between, further away. Is there a chance that this may be Masonic symbolism? And it definitely appears to be. The checkerboard floor. It says, yes, the 2 golden pillars represent the 2 pillars of masonry named Boaz and Jason. I won't go into the whole symbolism. And then there's the presidential palace, and that's right between 2 pillars as well. It says it sits at the end of a ceremonial route, which starts with the Beitarek Tower. Big fat dome sits on top of the palace, representing the female principal in opposition to the phallic Beitarek Tower, the male principal. This layout is present in almost all important cities, including Washington, D.C. and Paris. Conchari Entertainment Center, the world's biggest tent. It says, this unfinished oddity, once again by Sir Norman Foster, says he basically designed the whole city. Underneath the tent, an area larger than 10 football stadiums, which is huge, will be an urban scale internal park, shopping and entertainment venue with squares and cobbled streets, a boating river, shopping center, mini golf, and indoor beach resort. It has been said that this structure is made to look like a tabernacle on par with the Temple of Solomon. The nerve of Esau. These portable places of worship composed of tents were used by Jews during biblical times. They should have said Israelites. Initiates attribute to these ancient settlements an esoteric meaning, coming soon in Astana. It says, and it's still, at least in 2013, it was under heavy construction. A lot of it's probably done by now. The stadium looks like an all-seeing eye. And then here's a quote from Manly P. Hall. It says, when the mob governs, man is ruled by ignorance. When the church governs, he is ruled by superstition. And when the state governs, he is ruled by fear. Before men can live together in harmony and understanding, ignorance must be transmuted into wisdom, superstition into an illuminated faith, and fear into love. Mob is equal to democracy, church is equal to religion, and state is equal to countries. In other words, before men can live in harmony, we have to abolish democracy because the mass is too dumb, religions because they are superstitions, because Esau doesn't believe in the Bible, and states because we need one world government. He continues. The perfect government of the earth must be patterned eventually after that divine government by which the universe is ordered. And that day, when perfect order is reestablished, with peace, universal and good triumph, men will no longer seek for happiness, for they shall find it welling up within themselves. It says, sounds good, doesn't it? Only one catch: when this will happen, most of the world population will be dead. On that note, have a good day. And that's Astana, Kazakhstan. And here's some more pictures of the symbols. There's a giant golden eagle, Esau's symbol. Though thou exalt thyself as the eagle, thus will I bring thee down. There's those pillars. More pillars. Supposedly there's you can see a giant upside down pentagram on Google Maps. I've never looked at it myself. This pyramid right here is the pyramid that was just in the article. There's a giant phoenix or eagle pawn going towards that pyramid. Let's keep going down. And then there's a chariot-shaped building. And yeah, I just wanted to bring it out and show that there's probably something more devious going on with the Kazakhstan protest over there because of this capital city that they have. And it's supposed to be the capital of the New World Order. Let's just Slovakia get into the scriptures. Let's start out Malachi 1 and 2, the point being in 4. I have loved you, saith the Lord Yahweh. Yet ye say, wherein hast thou loved us? Was not Esau Jacob's brother, saith the Lord Yahweh? Yet I loved Jacob, and I hated Esau, and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. That's Rome. Whereas Edom saith, we are impoverished, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the border of wickedness, and the people against whom the Lord Yahweh hath indignation forever. And as you see, they've returned and built, but the Lord is going to destroy everything that they've built there, everything that they're proud of. And he's going to destroy it all very soon because he's turning everything up, and we're seeing it right now. Let's go to Isaiah 47 and 12. This is speaking of Babylon, but we're gonna, by extension, use it for this because Kazakhstan is I don't know if they're in the EU or in NATO, but the elite are definitely using it. But Isaiah 47:12, stand now with thine enchantments and with the multitude of thy sorceries, wherein thou hast labored from thy youth. If so be, thou shalt be able to profit. If so be, thou mayest prevail. Thou art wearied in the multitude of thy counsels. Let now the astrologers, the stargazers, the monthly prognosticators stand up and save thee from these things that shall come upon thee. Because, as you can see, they used Freemasons and probably astrologers and stargazers and prognosticators to have that city built, especially with all those symbols that are within it. And the Lord is going to bring that place down. Verse 14, behold, they shall be as stubble. The fire shall burn them. They shall not deliver themselves from the power of the flame. There shall not be a coal to warm at, nor fire to sit before it. And that, again, that destruction is for Babylon. But Astana, Kazakhstan will not stand once Yahushua returns. Either we bring it down, he brings it down when he comes back, or it will be torn down once the kingdom is being established. But that place will not exist on this earth. In the kingdom of heaven, the kingdom of Israel, Yahushua's kingdom. Micah 5. This is on Yahushua's return. Well, let's start at 7, and we'll go all the way down. And the remnant of Jacob shall be in the midst of many people, as a dew from the Lord Yahweh, as the showers upon the grass, that tarrieth not for man, nor waiteth for the sons of men. And the remnant of Jacob shall be among the Gentiles, in the midst of many people, as a lion among the beasts of the forest, as a young lion among the flocks of sheep. And imagine a young lion in the flock, right in the middle of a flock of sheep, just going wild and tearing up stuff, throwing up sheep, ravishing them. Who, if he go through, both treadeth down, and teareth in pieces, and none can deliver. Thine hand shall be lifted up upon thine adversaries, and all thine enemies shall be cut off. All enemies. And the creators of Astana are enemies. They're definitely enemies of the Lord. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith the Lord Yahweh, that I will cut off thy horses out of the midst of thee, and I will destroy thy chariots. No more tanks, no more jets. Your armies won't work. And I will cut off the cities of thy land. And Astana is a city that will be cut off, and throw down all thy strongholds. And I will cut off witchcrafts out of thine hand. And Astana was built in witchcraft. And thou shalt have no more soothsayers. Thy graven images also will I cut off, and thy standing images out of the midst of thee. And thou shalt no more worship the work of thine hands. And I will pluck up thy groves out of the midst of thee, so I will destroy thy cities. And I will execute vengeance and anger and fury upon the heathen, such as they have not heard. Ooh. Must be scary to be a heathen. And with that, I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham, Rakah Kadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of the Great Millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel.